about the STAR program while I was in the hospital as a consequence of a tragic car accident. During the time I was in the hospital, at 2B here at Hunter Homes, a case manager came by during my stay and make the approach about the STAR program, meaning they trying to like present how the STAR program was all about and what were the benefits were and how could I benefit or I was a good candidate for the program.
My doctor at that program and my RCC, Recovery Care Coordinator, the two of them worked simultaneously or worked together independently and also worked with me to create a long-term medical care plan. And so the STAR program came about, and they said, well, if we can get some things with you a little bit more stable, we think that you would be a prime candidate for this program.
I was in 2-2 down at Camp Lejeune. That's a United States Marine Corps Infantry. I was in 0351 in Infantry Assaultman, and went to Iraq and had fun there and came back and ended up being in a training accident, a Humvee rollover, knocked my head pretty good. And because of that, I was ultimately discharged from the Marine Corps and medically retired. And amidst all that, I believe it was the psychiatrist, she had said, hey, look into this program we found in Virginia, see if that's going to help with anything. So my wife got a hold of Erica out here and was talking with her, and Erica went through the STAR program, explained everything. My wife was on board and wanted me to look into it, and so I talked with Erica a little bit, explained to her some of the frustrations I'd had with previous facilities, both inside and outside of the VA, and she convinced me to give it a shot, and here I am.
A great candidate for the STAR program is a service member or a veteran who has suffered from an illness or injury, who is able to participate in a structured inpatient intensive rehab environment. They need to be able to participate in 5 to 8 hours of rehab. They also need to be able to have, or not be able to, but they also need to have actual rehab goals. And I like for them to actually tell me what vocational goals they have before they come here, because we want to keep in mind that, being that we are a vocational rehab program embedded in our rehab program, I want them to tell me, some of the things that they're looking to do, whether it's, return to work or stay in the military. I want them to kind of gauge some of the things that they're looking to do so that it gives our treatment team some things to work with, even if that may change once they get here.
I think our program is unique in that we take both active duty service members and veterans. For those active duty service members, they're able to kind of get a glimpse of what their VA experience is going to be like after they separate. And while they're here, we're able to orient them to this medical center and to connect them with the transition care management team to help assist with that transition.
Different services and therapy that I've received in the STAR program, yoga, meditation, spirituality, vocational rehabilitation. I receive therapy and physical therapy, occupational therapy.
Pulse of Purple Hearts, we have we go there where we have Labradors that they're training for service dogs, and while we're there, we spend time with the dogs and we help train them to become service dogs for military personnel.
It's an all-star cast around here. I've done occupational therapy, recreational therapy, just general medical stuff, a vision check and seeing where I was at. Certainly psychology with Doc Reiner and Doc Robbins been overseeing everything, and then did a whole ton of stuff with Voc Rehab. And at the same time, I was able to keep doing stuff with Aris there in the gym for KT. And then Aaron was there just to give me a PT check at first. And I think that's most of the medical stuff that I've been through.
We do several things in RT. Natasha, she helps me. We go on Tuesday. We go to the pool, and she helps me work out in the pool, and help strengthen my core, my legs, my arms, and she helps me find other ways to swim because of the lack of range of motion in my left arm.
I would say that it's mostly up to the service members. It's to the willingness. The staff, the STAR program, the vocational rehab staff, is here to help. Is here to provide and to help us and learn all the different tools and different opportunities that we have as a service members. But it's ultimately up to the service member willingness to participate.
This is not your everyday VA hospital. The therapists are very knowledgeable. They work extra hard to achieve the goals that you want to achieve.
If you're able, get out here, get a hold of Erica, get a hold of James, and just whatever needs to happen. If you're still in the military, get a hold of your command, have them get out here. If you are like myself, out of the military and have been for a while, get out here. I am not the only one who's been several years out, who has benefited from the STAR program.
You guys do care. Like you feel the love kind of when you're here, and you could tell in the work that they put out, and I enjoy it.
If we can just take a moment and just self-reflect and look at all the stressors that we've had in the military, all the stresses we have had as a veteran, okay? Now you see those different challenges and different stresses you may have. This is a place where you can recoup, regroup. You can let everything down and expose yourself. You can be transparent here.
I think had I gone through this way back when, a lot of heartache could have been prevented, especially in how I interacted with my wife and the value I placed on her perception of what was going on. Even here, to some degree, there was still a moment of reckoning, in that I had to quit telling myself, well, I'm not that bad. Just realize that, there's a reason I'm here. And I appreciate that.